Here's what I want to ask, because we've covered quite a bit, but I want to make sure you have the opportunity for me to ask you, what haven't we covered? What's important about this nudging strategy that we're talking about here that we haven't talked about yet?
Let's just break it down. The first thing is you have to be curious. I think we spoke about it, but I want to just reiterate this. So if you're not curious and you don't follow up and you don't learn in every step, because life is not a strategy for yourself as well,
Right.
You have to be curious and you have to ask things and you have to want to understand people. It's not enough to, if you're in a meeting, you don't just wait your turn to speak, because then you're not listening. You have to listen actively and understand what you're trying to communicate and read into. That's the only way for you to understand, where is my opposing party at? So if I'm going to nudge you somewhere, there's maybe a line of 50 steps, or it's a branch of trees with infinite amounts of variables. And if I started in the wrong position, I'm always going to fail, because I haven't met you where you're at. And then it's also about the storytelling, as we spoke about, but it's also at least the illusion of safety. Even if it's not perfectly safe, or even if it's not crystal clear, at least you need to have the illusion or the feeling of safety. Illusion is at least having the feeling of safety. Then you can dare to venture a bit outside your comfort zone. So we need to have the element of safety in order to prevent retaliation or having your personal guards up. So that means also that when you have that, then you also have to back off and allow the space. I've understood where you're going, where you're at. I've tried to make you understand where we are going, why this is important. We've used storytelling to paint the new perfect world. Where would we get to if we can do all of this? And with that said, you also need to decide, should this person know the final outcome or not? That also depends on where you're going and what you're doing. And then when you've done that, you transfer the ownership back to the other party, and you back away a bit and allow them to try it and to grow. And if they're doing something great, you can encourage that and push them a bit higher along this, so that you can help people win. Everyone needs a win. If you're building trust, if you're working with a big organization, I usually work with big companies, that when you always have to have a quick win in order to gain trust so that it's working.
Yeah.
Let's have them try the next step and the next phase. And also when it comes down to the execution of everything, you need to set the priorities straight, because you will never, ever in life have time to do everything that you want to do. So you just need to decide what's most important, what can and can't I do. And then all barriers are only imaginary illusions, because the barrier doesn't exist if you're really dead set on getting it done. It's just a temporary hindrance that's in the way of your path. There's always a run through it, over it. If you were ever to listen to a Swedish song, you would listen to Moraträsk, when they have a song where they're going about, it's probably a version in English as well. We can't go through it, we have to go over it. We can't go over it, we have to go under it. We can't go around it, we have to go, and etc. Just continues and continues. There's probably an English version somewhere on that concept. So that would be, I think, the sixth time that I've tried to summarize this.